Hello, this is John Bowen, CEO of CEG Worldwide, and I tell you, I'm very excited to be with you today to bring you this week's episode of the Elite Advisor, Profiles in Success. Each week I get the opportunity, really the privilege, to interview one of our top coaching clients, one of the top financial advisors in the nation who's out there making a big difference for their clients and their community. And today we're in for a special treat. Not only do I have one of the top financial advisors in the country, but a very good friend that I've had the privilege of working with, Fred Hanish. Fred, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, John, glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, let's dive right in it. You know, you and I have had the chance to work together both in the industry and together in business. And now I know, as a financial advisor, you are taking all that passion and serving your clients well and doing well by doing it. And I want you to share, really where does all this passion come from of taking such good care of your clients?
Well, thank you, John. And I guess I'm passionate about everything I do or I don't do it well. So I probably should first take the time to thank my parents about being passionate about things in life. But in terms of our industry and taking care of our clients, I had a series of life-threatening events, not one, but three, threatened my immediate family a while back, like one in a million type things. My bride of 32 years and I were blessed with children late in life, but my wife had a uterine rupture when my son was born 13 years ago, and almost neither one of them almost made it through that. Now, miraculously, everybody's fine, everybody's great. 22 months later, we're given the opportunity to adopt our little girl, and her birth mother has a placenta rupture, which is like a one in a million type of a deal. And last rites were given during the night. So, and everybody pulled through, and everybody's fine, everybody's healthy. Within a year of those two events, believe it or not, I had hurt my hip in a hunting accident many years ago, and I finally went in to have my hip replaced. No big deal, right? It happens every day. Well, that went great, except I developed blood clots. Well, that's not that unusual, but then 2 weeks after that, I had a pulmonary embolism, and I wound up in the emergency room on New Year's Eve with more surgery. They put a filter in me. Now, the math on all of this is like one in a million events 3 times in a row within a period of a couple years. So even this old country boy, I'm 58 now, John, getting hit in the back of the head 3 times within a couple years by a 2x4 woke me up. And I took the time to sit down and say, I have had a lot of success in our industry. It's a great industry. But what do I really want to do? It's halftime. I was about 45 at the time. It was halftime, let's say. What do I really want to do? And what I really want to do is make a difference with a small group of specific family clients, helping them make wise decisions with their resources. And I got to tell you, I've never had more fun in the industry. So I think that's where the passion.
Fred, share with me. I mean, there's no question you're passionate. You want to protect people from, the life intrusion and to really lead successful life. What are some of the benefits clients can expect in working with you and your team?
I think the easiest way to answer that, John, is I remember as a young man, I was just out of college, so it was the late 70s, and I walked into a man's business one time to call on him, a crusty old entrepreneur, and he had a sign outside his office, and the sign read, "Quality, service, and price. Pick any two." And I have never forgotten that, although I think the difference today, fast forward to today, I don't know about other businesses, I can't comment on them, but I know our business has become violently competitive. And you better be able to compete as a financial advisor on quality, service, and price, all three. And so around here, 2 big differences. We actually are so old-fashioned around here, John. We're a throwback, and we'll become new again. We actually manage the money for our clients. We don't charge them a fee to give it to somebody else to manage. Some clients want or need mutual funds or needs a portfolio of pooled accounts, but it's our bias where appropriate to buy individual stocks and bonds for people and customize an individual portfolio exactly for them. And by doing that, we actually can save them most of the time one, sometimes two layers of fees, depending on where their assets are today. So there's a lot of customization, which is quality, and we can save them on the overhead on the accounts, which is price. But as important as managing money, you and I both know we have no control over the Congress, the Federal Reserve, but there's no excuse for a family not having their wills done. There's no excuse for having some insurable risk not insured. Anesthesiologists, doctors are the most sued profession, I think. There's no excuse for not protecting clients from life happens type of events. Taxes, there's no excuse for not working with their CPA, legally mitigating, if not eliminating, any tax liability that you can. So I work, and my team works with my clients' advisors, their CPA, their attorney insurance specialists, but I formed two teams with me of independent CPAs, private client attorneys, and insurance specialists, and we offer a second opinion to our clients on all the decisions on the important areas of their life. They get a second opinion on tax, estate planning, generational wealth transfer, insurable risk, charitable gifting, on all of those important decisions. And so we compete on quality, service, and price, and it's a lot of fun.
It's phenomenal. I mean, that's one of the things I love working with you, Fred, is that, it's not, no one of us can do everything. And by bringing this collective team, you make it so easy for clients to make smart decisions about their money. Help me, though, better understand, who are the right clients for you? Who can you best serve?
Excellent question. We're pretty fussy around here as to who we want to work with. There's a limited number of families that we want to work with. And when I look at our clients, not all of them, but a lot of them are 50, 60, 70 years old. I guess it turns out unless you inherit wealth, which is a good idea, by the way, John, it takes, sometimes you're 50 or 60 or 70 before you've built your business or you've built a substantial wealth. And your family and issues, et cetera, come to the fore. So, but because they're in that age group generally, they tend to be conservative. We love business owners. Most of our clients, not all, but most of them either have owned a successful business and they've had the event, so to speak, or they still own a successful business and they might want to plan for the event, generational transfer at some point, or they own a cattle ranch, or they own a farm. We love entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong with working with someone your whole life, but when you get up in the morning and you have to sign the front of the check to meet payroll, you forever look at the world different. You look at the world through a different lens than endorsing the back of a check. So business owners and entrepreneurs, ranchers, farmers, and another big thing is they're generally driven by taking care of their family. They're family stewards, and they enjoy their freedom and their independence of the lifestyle they've built, and they want us to help maintain that and perpetuate that. My late father, who passed away a couple years ago at 86, he defined those as salt of the earth type people. We work with good folks, and that's the limited number of families. That's the type of client that we're focusing on to serve.
Well, and I know you do. And one of the things I'd love you to share is, you and I both were about the same age, or almost exactly the same age, and we've really been privileged to work in this industry and make a big difference. What do you most value about your career?
Well, since the life-changing events and planning an exit strategy out of work, moving out of a big corporate life and founding my own investment boutique a few years back, I really feel like I'm actually living the life of significance that I've wanted to by actually helping a certain number of hand-picked clients, helping those families live their lives of significance. One of the many things we try to discover about our clients is, do you have a bucket list? And if you do, what's on it? And if you don't, why don't you? And you're 50, 60, 70 years old, you've built a life. What do you want to accomplish between now and when you're no longer here? And let's get it done. If we can help you do that and manage your affairs working with all of your advisors so that you can accomplish that list, we're here to help our clients make wise decisions on all the things that matter. So we get to, I guess, selfishly live a life of significance, helping our clients live their lives of significance, and they get to define what that end game is, and we help them get it done.
No, I think it's so important that the help you do to help them arrange their financial affairs so they can live the life that they want, that life of significance, as you're saying. I know you and your team, Fred, you guys are so hard workers, having the privilege to work with you in the past. I've seen it, and I see it now in our relationship today. Um, Tell me though, I know you take some time off. What do you enjoy doing when you're not working?
Well, you can probably bet and understand about me that family's pretty important to me, and so we do a lot of family things together. But we're outdoors people. I like to fish. I like to hunt. My son likes to hunt. We hunt and fish and travel all over North America. And what I really enjoy the most is archery hunting. I actually, when I feel good and my arthritis in my fingers isn't bothering me, I actually like to hunt out west in the Rocky Mountains for elk and deer with a recurve bow, an old wooden bow with wooden arrows. So it's a bit of a throwback and limited amount of success, but a lot of exercise and a lot of fun. And again, everything I do, I'm passionate about, whether it's family or work or my hobbies.
Well, no, and definitely having hunted that way in the past, I know how hard that is. Well, let's take a step back. For your fellow financial advisors. I mean, you've lived a great life. You've had some challenges you shared, but a great life. You've made a difference with an awful lot of people, Fred, and that success comes out of serving others well and doing well by doing that. And what I'd love you to do is to share one piece of advice that you would give your fellow financial advisors that they could enjoy the same success you are in serving their clients well.
Sure. I mean, I think there's something, research says, I think there's something like 450,000 financial advisors in the United States that they make a living giving financial advice, and not all of them are equipped or want to actually do custom portfolios for people and research individual securities, et cetera. So I get that. But I also understand there's only about 6% of us, I don't know how many of the 500,000 it says wealth manager on their business card, but they don't really do it. When I talk to my clients' CPAs at least twice a year, sadly I hear every year, I heard it again last fall when I contacted their CPA before the end of the year on what we can do to mitigate tax liability. This is an example. Every time the CPA says, you're the only advisor that ever calls me to ask them how to help their client with that. So a lot of our people in our industry, there's no reason for us not to be working. If you don't want to form your own team of CPAs and attorneys and insurance specialists, I get that too. But you've got to work with your client CPAs and their estate planning attorney and their insured risk specialists, and get all those people that serve that client of yours, get them on the same page. Have lunch with them 2-3 times a year, and make sure you're communicating to properly mitigate taxes, manage risk, etc. The 6% is not a high enough number. We need to drastically improve the number of people that are actually doing all the functional areas of wealth management, not just talking about it. So that would be the biggest advice I would give to my peers.
Oh, Fred, yeah, thank you for that. That is great advice. It's needed advice, and I wish you nothing but the best of success and continue to make such a big difference out there.
Terrific, John. Thank you, and thank you for your time today.